Who would you say was the songwriter you like resonated most with and related to most growing up?
Growing up, it was probably Ed Sheeran. As like as easy as that is for everyone to say it. Probably Ed Sheeran. The first time I went to an Ed Sheeran concert was really whenever I wanted to learn guitar and actually start writing my own stuff. And then, yeah, probably Ed Sheeran and maybe Damien Rice.
At what point did that love of music then and that affection for those songwriters start to transition into like a desire to create music and make music of your own and write music of your own?
Well, most of my stuff is like, my brothers have been bands through their whole lives, so I've always like grown up listening to their brothers being in like loads of different bands, like Short Lived Joy and Indie Artworks, and whatever they're in now, Ominoko, and just watching them write music was really how I got into like picking up the guitar, and my brother taught me how to play drums, and then went to guitar lessons, and then just wanted to be like them really. Yeah, it's mainly just my brothers and family.
Were there ever like experiences where they kind of like directly inspired you that you can kind of think of?
Yeah, whenever I went to one of my brother's gigs in a venue in Liverpool, and just seeing them perform live, and then they asked me to get up and sing a tune with them, a tune we had written, and just having that sort of first performance with them was like, right, I want to do this myself. I want to be up on stage singing my own songs rather than jumping up on stage with a different band and singing a cover. But yeah, it was really just that directly inspired me. Just like, right, I need to actually put my life into this and write my own songs and get up and perform my own songs.
What sort of stuff did you used to cover when you were writing?
The typical Oasis, Kasabian, Bruno Mars, like just it was such cheese when I was growing up. Like my first ever YouTube video was me singing "She's Electric" by Oasis, but it was like I was only 10 years old, and pure high-pitched voice, just nothing you want to ever look at again. It was quickly put on private in my YouTube, but yeah, I was like, Stone Roses was really indie, really indie when I was younger, and then of course whenever Ed Sheeran and the acoustic stuff, started doing a lot more of that, and then realised, yeah, I'm an acoustic singer more than an indie singer.
Do you remember the first time you shared a piece of music that you'd written yourself with someone else?
Yeah, first ever band called Blind Summit. It was like a sort of punk but I just showed it to my guitar teacher because I've been going to lessons for a few years, and then he started like it was like on a weekend on a Saturday, so he'd get different people in the bands, and he'd be like, right, you have to write a song for next week, you have to write a song for next week, and then we just make everyone sort of sing. So like the bass player would be singing, and the guitarist would be singing, and the drummer would be singing some songs, and what was it? Stranger from Nowhere was the first ever song I showed to my guitar teacher, Peter McAnulty, when I was like 12.
How did that experience affect you? Like, what was his kind of reaction, and how did that affect you going forward?
Well, it was the most horrible song ever, but he just sort of politely told me that it needs to be a lot better, and then we just sort of started working on it, recorded it on analog, on tape, and then yeah, it just went from there, and just sort of tried to write much better songs then from then out.
How does that track like stylistically compared to Searching, the first time you put out? What's the evolution been in the interim?
Into Searching, well, like Searching mainly came like that sort of whenever Dermot Kennedy came onto the scene, like I immediately was resonating with all his tunes, and like Searching sort of came from that, trying to go into like a dark pop sort of electronica sort of vibe, but how it came from Stranger from Nowhere, I don't have a clue, man, because it's Stranger from Nowhere is just your typical cheese that every teenager writes. It's just cheesy pop song. It's about it was about a girl. Like when I was 12, never had a girlfriend, never even knew what girls were, but yet I'm writing a love song about this girl. So I don't really know how it sort of joined. It's just, I don't know, through the years.
What about with the two singles you put out? Do you feel is there a lyrical kind of crossover there, like thematically? What do you feel the kind of similarity between the two are?
Well, a lot of my song, like Searching was the first song of like my own that I actually felt was good enough to share with people. So like that was the reason why it was the first single. And then like Searching and Leaving, they're all my songs were wrote in the space of like 4 or 5 months, all around each other. They're all about personal experiences, but it was just trying to sort of connect. Searching and Leaving they are two very different sounds, but as a person I listen to a lot of different genres, so I didn't really want to stick myself to the same genre. I like doing different vibes and then joining wee parts, so there's wee parts of the electronica and the melody and stuff joins the songs, but they're just really personal experiences about living over here and everything else, music and stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned genre there as well, because you have the heart of the songs, but outside of it, it's this kind of indie, kind of pop rock, kind of coating to it. What do you feel is at the core of your songs that's allowing them to resonate with people, like, and get the message still gets through that bombast and that production?
I don't really know, man. Whenever I listen to songs, it's mainly just like I pick up on different lyrics and stuff, and I try my best. And whenever I'm writing, to put a lot of like cool lines in that people are gonna like, oh, you hear that line, and sort of immediately draw themselves to the song. So like through all my lyrics, I try my best to just sort of throw in sort of weird lines that people are gonna pick up on, but also have a lot of meaning. But like a lot of meaning. But the wee stupid lines don't really have much meaning. The rest of the song has a lot of meaning.
Just stuff that's kind of unique to you.
Yeah,
those little lines. Yeah.
So it's very unique to me. But the songs are written in a way, in my opinion, that, well, I hope other people are gonna sort of listen to the lyrics and have a connection to like how that's affected in their lives, or I hope that's gonna be, people are gonna listen to songs and say it like that. But since Leaving and Searching's came out, there's been a lot of people sort of like singing the lyrics back to me, which in my head's a very good sign. So, yeah, that's good. Like, but connection, just sort of writing from my own experience, really.
You mentioned that people they're like singing the stuff back and also expressing a kind of an enjoyment of the music and relating to it. Yeah. Do you remember the first time someone connected with your music, or you felt someone connect with something that you'd written?
I probably in first ever actual show. So I've been gigging in Edinburgh for 4 years, and then one of the bars I sang in Malone's. They were putting on a show for Ryan McMullen from Belfast. So, and I just put up a cover of Ryan McMullen's songs at a gig, and then the manager of the pub sort of asked me to play on the. So that was my first ever show, singing my own songs, and I was backing up an artist I'd been listening to for like 2 or 3 years. It was just amazing. Then that gig was the first time I actually sang my new stuff, and like there was people in the crowd singing it back to me. There was friends. Obviously they were friends, but I like to call them fans as well. But yeah, they were singing the songs back to me, and then even Hammy, Ryan McMullen's drummer, like in the behind stage and stuff, he was singing it back to me and all as well. So that was really just a good sign. Good sign that people are enjoying the songs and could actually have a connection to them. That was the first time that Ryan McMullen gig.
What would you say is your proudest moment then? Kind of moving on from that, because that feels like it would be it sounds like quite a special experience.
Yeah, my proudest moment to date is probably that gig, like, and then the 2 or 3 days after that, because he had another show in Aberdeen in the same Malone's in Aberdeen, and but Foy Vance came this time, and I mean I've been listening to Foy Vance for like so long, like him writing Ed Sheeran's album and stuff with him, like, and I ended up having like getting to meet Foy Vance, and he sang around with Mullen. We were all singing in the back. I mean, basically told me his whole life story. It's unbelievable. One of my favourite memories ever. Yeah, meeting Foy Vance and Ryan McMullen and jamming out with them is the best.
I mean, when it comes back to searching as well, kind of following on from the title of that song, what would you say you've found out most about yourself from writing music?
Just I used to be very uptight and like sort of cared what everyone thought, and then through writing music and just writing down exactly what I feel and putting that across, it sort of made me. People can have their opinions, and like I'm not going to dive into anyone's opinions, but through songwriting, it's just sort of helped me actually open up about what I want to say and like how I want to put it across. Yeah, so it's really just sort of opened me up to a lot of different. Like I'm quite laid back about most things. Like I used to be so uptight, and I'd be constantly looking at how people are looking at me or like whatever, but then it really just helped me deal with anxiety, really. Anxiety that I didn't really know I had, but realised I had once I started writing music and actually opening up about it. Yeah, so I love writing music. It just lets you basically dive into anything you want to do and say whatever you want to say. And
Has writing music in that way, you know, you're saying the things you kind of realised about yourself from it, does it now make it easier to communicate outside of music and talk about it out with it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. Like I've personal experience as well with friends. Like even during lockdown, like me and my mates were just like actually saying how we felt, like, and how we like act instead of holding back and just being like the whole lads sort of persona that you can't really talk about anything. Yeah, really helped. Like actually speak outside of music as well and talk to people about how you're feeling instead of just being by yourself feeling it. A lot.
And that's a positive note to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man. Cheers.
That's good.